Hey guys, it's Tyler from Peregrine, and we're back with another episode of Thank God It's Happy Hour. Things are still pretty dreary up here on the West Coast, so we're going for another nice tropical drink to maybe lift our spirits a bit, and self-medicate at the same time. This week we're making the national drink of Bermuda, the Dark and Stormy, so let's get into it. So, the Dark and Stormy was devised sometime around the end of the 1800s to the early 1900s, and was a combination of Gosling's Black Seal rum, which was made and very popular in Bermuda, and ginger beer from the Royal Navy, basically. The officers had ginger beer floating around, and of course the two naturally found their way together. There's some debate as to whether or not you want to actually add lime juice, or just use lime as more of a garnish that you might squeeze over top. We're going to add a little bit of lime juice because I like the balance that it brings to the drink. That little bit of tartness is nice. The name, the Dark and Stormy, is actually one of the few trademark cocktail names that are out there. And if you want to call it a Dark and Stormy, you have to be using Gosling's Black Seal. We're not doing that because I think there's better rums out there personally, so we're not going to call it a Dark and Stormy. But let's go ahead and whip this guy up. This is one that is put together in the glass, so we're going to start there and add a few big chunks of spice to that. There we go. We are going to be using Gosling's brand ginger beer, which felt appropriate, I suppose. So we're going to top that guy up with about 4 or 5 ounces of the ginger beer. Basically fill it up and leave room for 1.5 ounces of our rum. I kind of like with these sorts of drinks that really rely on the flavor of rum as opposed to drinks that more use like white rums and stuff like that. Blending rums is kind of a fun way to experiment. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our Bacardi 10-year, which is going to be super nice and smooth, really approachable rum that is going to compose the bulk of our rum. So we're going to do, again, 1 ounce of that guy. And then for a little bit of kick, different flavor, a little bit of booziness, we're going to actually add High Proof 151. There we go. And we're just going to pour this guy over the top. It's pretty common to see the Dark and Stormy done up this way, and it's definitely a nice look. And then finally, going to grab our lime. Use this one for juice, just a little bit in there, probably about a bar spoon's worth of lime juice. And then for our garnish, we're gonna go with the classic pinwheel. Okay, so there we go, the Dark and Stormy. I've taken the liberty of giving it a little bit of a swizzle with my finger just to mix that rum in a little bit. But let's give this guy a taste. So this one is one of those drinks that the combination, because there's so few ingredients, it's really ginger beer and rum. The ingredients that you choose are really going to impact like the flavor that the end drink comes across. So the Gosling's ginger beer really isn't as bitey as some of them out there. So this is a little bit more toned down than some of the Dark and Stormies I've had and as well as personally made. I'm one that really likes that sort of ginger character that comes across as like fairly spicy and almost that sort of hot ginger. But there are definitely some constants that the drink has regardless of the ingredients you choose. So it's relatively sweet. Yeah, considering there's no sugar in there and we're really just using the ginger beer, it's fairly sweet, but it's nice and balanced. It's very refreshing. The combination of rum and ginger is very nice. And I can actually see like that combination being used to interesting effect in other drinks. But I mean, yeah, the Dark and Stormy is very easy to drink. It's definitely one that if I was in a hot place, this would be on my sort of regular rotation of drinks that I have often because it's nice and cooling. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I can see why it's the national drink of Bermuda, that's for sure. It is definitely worth noting that used ginger beer in these recipes. Ginger ale and ginger beer can sort of be confusing as to what the differences are, and with certain brands, the lines become a little bit blurry, but in general, ginger beer is going to have more ginger character and less sweetness, whereas ginger ale is more of a soft drink type of beverage. So yeah, there you go. There's the classic Dark and Stormy. If you like this sort of thing, these traditional sort of tropical drinks and, discussing them and all that good stuff, be sure to give us a like, comment, and subscribe, and otherwise we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.